Picture this. A grizzled alien warlord, scales gleaming like molten metal, steps off his sleek cruiser onto Earth's muddy soil, smirking at what he assumes is a backward training ground for a primitive species. But what he witnesses next? It dismantles every smug notion he held about us fragile, soft-skinned humans. This is the story of a commander who walked into our military academy expecting a quaint tour, and left with his worldview in tatters, questioning if his own empire could ever match our fire. Hey, before we plunge into this cosmic tale, a quick shout: where are you watching from today? Drop your city or corner of the globe in the comments, maybe a college dorm in Chicago, a cafe in London, or a beach in Sydney. We love seeing our crew light up the map. In the sprawling starscape of the Orion Arm, where nebulae glowed like cosmic lanterns and planets spun in silent harmony, the United Galactic Concordance held sway. For eons, they charted every corner of the galaxy, from the sulfur swamps of Zorith, where methane breathers schemed, to the crystalline choirs of Epsilon Eridani, where hives sang symphonies in light. Then they stumbled across Earth. To them, we were a curiosity, a species still tinkering with combustion engines while they folded space itself. Our diplomacy? Handshakes and paper treaties, not neural pacts. Our weapons? Bullets, not plasma lances. Yet, the Concordance saw potential, or at least amusement. They decided to integrate us, starting with a diplomatic gesture, send an envoy to observe our so-called military academies, and report back. A simple fact-finding mission. Nothing more. Enter Commander Vexor Thaler of the Krellian fleet. Vexor wasn't just any officer, he was a galactic icon. He'd shattered pirate flotillas in the Void Wars, brokered peace with nomadic plasma wielders in the Nebula Expanse, and once faced a collapsing singularity with nothing but a steady glare. Standing 7 feet tall, his iridescent scales shimmered like oil slicks under starlight, and his ember-like eyes burned with cold logic. To him, Krellians were the pinnacle of evolution, disciplined, efficient, unyielding. Humans? A footnote in the cosmic ledger. Noisy insects. He'd scoff to his aides during the mission brief, claws tapping a holopad. They build walls when we weave shields. Let's indulge a little show, file the report, and be done. His shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere on a crisp fall morning in 2147, landing at the United States Military Academy at West Point. The air carried the sharp tang of pine and metal polish, a stark contrast to the sterile air recyclers of his homeworld. Waiting at the airstrip was Colonel Elena Reyes, a lean woman in her 40s with a stare that could cut diamond. Her uniform was crisp, her posture rigid, but her eyes held a glint of mischief. "Commander Thaler, welcome to the long gray line," she said, voice steady as granite. "We've planned a full tour. For your safety, no live rounds today." Vexor's scales flickered with faint amusement. "Your caution is appreciated, Colonel, but I've faced worse than your toys." His translator implant buzzed, catching the edge of his condescension. Rhea's lips twitched, a smile that hinted she'd heard such bravado before. They climbed into a hover jeep, its hum drowned out by a distant rhythm, sharp, guttural chants slicing through the fog veiling the Hudson River Valley. Vexor's head tilted, sensors whirring. "What is that sound?" "Basic training," Reyes replied, guiding the jeep forward. "Cadets greeting the dawn. You'll see soon enough." They crested a ridge, and the sight unfolded: the plain, a sprawling parade ground where hundreds of young humans, barely past adolescence by Krellian standards, marched in flawless unison. No anti-grav boots, no cybernetic aids. Just leather boots slamming earth, voices roaring cadence like a controlled storm. Left. Left. Left, right, left. Vexor's sensors pinged, elevated heart rates, synchronized breathing, no trace of fear. Just raw, unshakable focus. Intriguing, he murmured, claws tapping his chin. They mimic cohesion through ritual. Primitive, but effective. Reyes chuckled, low and knowing. Primitive? That rhythm keeps them alive, Commander. Wait till you see the real test. The jeep rolled toward the obstacle course, and Vexor's confidence wavered. He navigated asteroid belts blindfolded, but this? Barbed wire glinted like predators' teeth. Mud-slicked logs formed walls that mocked gravity. Ropes swayed over pits of frigid water, with no safety nets or force fields in sight. Cadets scrambled through, faces caked in grime, uniforms shredded, yet their eyes burned with something Vexor couldn't parse: hunger, maybe, or defiance. One recruit, a wiry kid with Ohio-etched dog tags, slipped on a rope bridge and plunged 10 feet into the muck. Vexor leaned forward, expecting surrender. Instead, the kid spat mud, roared a curse, and charged the next barrier as if it had stolen his birthright. They embrace pain? Vexor whispered, his modulator glitching. For a mere exercise? Not an exercise, Reyes corrected, her gaze fixed on the chaos. It's forging. Every fall, every cut, it's fuel. The galaxy doesn't hand out second chances, so we don't either. Vexor's datapad hummed as he logged. Observation 1. Humans turn suffering into strength. Curious, but not yet alarming. Next came the armory, a cavern of steel and energy hum. Rows of rifles gleamed, their coils pulsing with pre-warp plasma tech, crude by Krellian standards, but deadly enough to shred hulls. The real shock was the range. Cadets, blindfolded, stripped and rebuilt weapons with fingers that danced like surgeons. Vexor scanned a unit. Time to completion? Under 30 seconds, Reyes said, shrugging. Miss a pin? You're running till sunrise. Punishment as motivator. Vexor noted, impressed despite himself. Krellians prized precision too. But then came the live fire demo, Reyes. No munitions. Promise bending for the VIP. Holographic targets, some mimicking alien physiology with flickering shields, popped up at erratic intervals. Cadets unleashed volleys, plasma bolts cracking like thunderclaps. Vexor's sensors clocked their accuracy, 93%. Respectable, then case. A recruit's rifle jammed mid-fire. No hesitation, she ejected the clip, cleared the chamber, and dropped her target in under 2 seconds, diving for cover as shrapnel grazed her arm. Blood welled, yet she reloaded, eyes scanning like a hawk. Vexor's claws dug into the rail. They fight through wounds? Always, Reyes said. Break, adapt, overcome. Perfection's a myth, resilience isn't. Observation 2. Humans flourish in disorder. Vexor's logic core sparked with unease. This wasn't training, it was a crucible, embraced with grim joy. The tour led to the simulation halls, where virtual reality pods awaited, clunky compared to Concordance tech but wired to neurofeeds. Reyes nudged him. Try one, Commander. Feel what they feel. Vexor, expecting a sanitized holotour, complied. The world dissolved into hell, a dropship screaming through orbital flak, lasers tearing the sky. His avatar, a human marine, hit the dirt amid chaos, squaw mates vaporized in sprays of simulated blood. Flank left. Pin that bunker! Barked an AI voice modeled on Earth's ancient warlords. Vexor fired, recoiled, jarring his borrowed bones. A virtual wound ripped his chest, pain searing, vision dimming. Krellian sims would pause, reset. Here, the agony intensified, the objective glaring, secure the ridge. Survive or fail. He pushed on, scales sweating under the pod's grip. A teammate dragged a wounded comrade to safety, firing one-handed. Vexor covered them, pulse racing like a dying star. They seized the ridge. Victory sang. As the sim faded, he caught his reflection, eyes wild, breaths ragged. He'd felt alive, addicted to the edge. Stepping out, he faced Reyes' knowing grin. How was the mission? Illogical, he rasped, steadying himself. You weave fear into courage? Fear is the forge, she said. We don't train soldiers, we sculpt minds that dance with the void. Observation 3. Humans flirt with death to master it. Vexor's report was no longer a formality. The final stop was the cadre quarters, not polished suites, but stark bunks stacked like crates in a freighter. Cadets hunched over tablets, dissecting ancient wars, Sun Tzu's feints, Hannibal's traps, Rommel's desert gambits. No neural uploads, just raw debate, sketches on napkins, laughter weaving through exhaustion. One group reenacted a siege with coffee mugs as walls, arguing tactics with fierce joy. Vexor lingered unseen. A young cadet, bandaging a swollen knuckle, glanced at a hollow of her family. "Miss you, Dad," she whispered. "But this? It's worth it." She grinned, pain forgotten. Duty wasn't a burden, it was freedom. As twilight painted the Hudson gold, Vexor boarded his shuttle. Reyes saluted. "Safe journey, Commander. Give the cosmos our regards." He nodded, voice tight. "I will, Colonel. And my gratitude." The hyperspace jumps home blurred into a haze, but Vexor's mind churned. Cadets conquering mud like enemy worlds. Weapons as extensions of will. Sims that scarred to strengthen. Humans didn't train, they transformed, mid-step, forging weakness into weapons. He saw that Ohio kid's defiance, the recruit's unflinching reload, the cadet's quiet vow. Earth wasn't a backwater, it was a crucible for something unstoppable. On Krell Prime, the Concordance Council convened in their dome of shimmering crystal. Admirals in flowing robes, diplomats with data orbs like orbiting stars, awaited his report. "Speak, Commander Thala," boomed the High Arbiter, tendrils swaying like sea reeds. "What of these humans?" Vexor rose, scales muted to ash. His hollow projector flared, clips of the plane's march, the obstacle course's grit, the range's fury. The chamber hushed. "Allies?" he said, voice a low growl. "I expected relics, toys of a lesser race. What I found haunts me." A diplomat sneered. "Haunts? They lack our tech, our armadas." "Exactly." Vexor snapped, zooming on a cadet's relentless climb. "No tech? They become the weapon. No armadas? They forge squads that bond like steel. Their young endure torments that would shatter our elites, physical trials, mental gauntlets, all for wars they hope to avoid. They study our histories, predict our tactics, adapt faster than our algorithms." Silence gripped the room as he paced, claws scraping stone. "Picture it, not war machines, but spirits that thrive in the storm. One human, bleeding and alone, will drag themselves through ruin to win. 100? They'll reshape galaxies. We ally with them at our risk. They're not primitives. They're hunters in gray, biding their time." The Arbiter's tendrils quaked. "Your counsel?" Vexor's eyes burned. "Watch them. Ally carefully. And pray we never spark their wrath." The council dissolved in whispers, Vexor's warning rippling like a shockwave. In the halls, rumors grew. Humans train as if the stars are prey. Perhaps they're right. On Earth, under a canopy of stars, cadets slept in their bunks. Colonel Reyes logged her report. Exchange complete. Visitor left, awakened. The line holds strong. And there you have it, the day an alien titan learned why Earth's academies breed legends. If this saga of human steel lit a spark, hit that like button, subscribe for more HFY tales, and tap the bell to catch every story that shakes the stars. Could you hack a day at West Point, or are you ready to storm the cosmos? Tell us in the comments, we're rallying a fleet down there. Thanks for joining, warriors. Keep forging ahead. Out.